Hello and welcome. My name is Steve Pugh. If you ever tune into these things, my name is Steve Pugh. I do something called a Growth Strategy Podcast. And what I try and do this week and most weeks, I've been pretty good recently, is introduce you to people I believe can help your business or career. And then likewise, actually introduce you to real people that run real businesses, not just your Bill Gateses and Elon Musks and the famous kind of Jeff Bezoses of the world, but actually people literally around the world on a similar journey to what you are, in the way that we can kind of share a lot of knowledge and intelligence that actually might be really useful to you. And my guest today is no different. Mr. Adejoro is based out in Nigeria. And actually we met about a year ago, which I'm sure we'll go into the conversation. But one of the things that almost blows my mind as a lot is on the same timeline that the UK is on. So it's 4 p.m. now in the UK. And it's exactly the same time in Lagos in Nigeria, which is 4,500 miles away. But when you're looking at growth strategy and business on podcasts and almost global interactions and opportunities, people often miss this. So what I was keen to do is bring on some real guests from around the world to have a really good conversation and hopefully just help people expand their borders a little bit. I know from previous calls that sometimes the internet connection might drop out, it might not, we don't know, but we'll do our best. And I'll bring in the guest now. There we go. So Adejoro, would you like to say hi to everyone?
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Adejoro Oluwashola from Lagos, Nigeria.
No, spot on. So how did we met? I think we actually met because you reached out to me after seeing some of these same podcasts. So it's quite meta in some ways.
Yeah, I remember I was following you some times ago and about business development. So at the point, I needed some professional bodies to come together to help me take my business from the level it was to another level. And then I reached out to you. And since that time, it has been an awesome experience with you.
No, cool. So would you like to almost give people, I think it always helps to give people a bit of an overview just on yourself as a summary about what you do now. And then over the course of the interview, we'll go back and almost, ask you about how you got started, what you were like at school, and go through that journey. Because the hope is it's, interesting for people that might watch this who might grow up in your kind of neighborhood. But also, I think it'd be interesting for people around the world in the UK who maybe have cousins and stuff in Nigeria. Actually, it's just building these links, which I think is really important. But would you be able to give people just a quick overview on yourself and what your business is, just to kind of set up the interview?
Okay. My name is Adejoro Oluwashola. I'm from Ondo State, in Nigeria. By profession, I study health information management, meaning I'm supposed to be in the health sector. But by passion, I'm an entrepreneur. I think far back 2011 or 10, that was when I started my entrepreneurial journey. When I developed a non-conventional curriculum studies, I used to teach students in school. And I was able to train over 10,000 students in Oyo State before I got a job. And that was my first job. Then I moved to Abuja, a retail company in coats, and I was employed as a sales rep. That was my first practical job so ever in a sector that is not mine. Like I said, I study health information management. But I learned on the job, and I was able to perform very well. And I was promoted from the sales rep to general manager of the company. That was 2016. 2017, the company went back to Taiwan and set up on my own. So right now, I own a company. I'm into real estate, retail, agriculture, and transportation called Miropass A-mart Limited. So that's just the summary of who I am. So I run a physical and online shopping platform called Miropass A-mart here in Nigeria and also in Togo.
No, it's very cool. Just for anyone that watches this on the stream, and it's absolutely not your problem, because we've had this in the past when we're quite literally going across the world. Sometimes the picture will freeze, but that's just, it is what it is. But I will always be here to listen to you. And again, when this goes into the audio podcast, it's cool anyway. So we're going to carry on, but it's just to anyone that watches, if they wonder why the picture freezes, that's just the world's internet. It is what it is. So can I ask, where did you grow up?
Yeah, I grew up in I was born in Ile-Ife in Osun State, Nigeria, and due to a war that happened between Ife and so we left Ife and moved to Ibadan for safety. So I started my educational stuff in Ile-Ife from primary school. So moving to Ibadan, I have to start all over again. So I finished all my educational career in Ibadan, your state. Secondary school, my higher institution, all in Ibadan, Oyo State. So I would say I grew up in Ibadan, but I was born in Ife.
But if I can just jump in, is that the one of the reasons I love to talk to different people from around the world is that everyone has different viewpoints. But then the fact that you in childhood had to move house due to war and just conflict is something that nobody in the UK has had to deal with for a long time. But I think part of the reason, and one of my later questions, is all to do with why did you think different people from different around the world can bring value to an organization when you created the board. I think the same is true in what you've been through, is that I haven't been through that, but I'd love to learn about what that process was like, and almost how did you find that as a child? Just almost that move, was it just normal to you?
No, it wasn't normal because I remember vividly that should be around 1999 or 98. My dad took us to Ibadan for a shopping. So now if it was peaceful when we left in the morning. So now we're back from Ibadan to Ife, there was war. So we actually got into the middle of the war, and though the soldiers were the one that you know they have to guide us back home. And so my dad was like, "Oh, we left in peace in the morning, and we are back in the evening, and we met war. I think this town is no longer safe." So he decided to move. But because of the fact that we just arrived from Ibadan, and that was a city that is more exposed, more civilized than Ife. As a child, I didn't see moving from Ife to Ibadan as a big deal because oh wow, I'm going to a big city. So forgetting the fact that it's because of the world that's how we are living, but to me as a kid, I saw it like, oh, I'm living kind of a village to a city. So I was excited for us to move. So it was a few years later now realized that, oh wow, the movement wasn't that pleasant to my parents because it left his business, his properties, all he left them in Ife to start all over again in Ibadan. So I would say that it's not a good experience for my parents, but for me, it was a nice experience because I left a rural place to a city.
But what's interesting for me is that with you said at the start that you're very entrepreneurial, and I know you are, and that's hopefully something we'll talk about. But I think almost people say that traits of entrepreneurs is that they know how to deal, and they're resilient. They know how to deal with challenge, and I think it's a great sign that someone who's been through struggle, and your parents again, that it's that will build great character in you that has, I think, done you very well. But it's a
Mhm.
fascinating. I love doing these interviews because you always learn things that you didn't know before. So then, what was it like growing up in the city? What were you like at school?
Yeah, I I can't really remember my nursery and primary school very well, but I know I was just a very active boy in school, and but because of the movement from if because I've already completed my primary school in Ife before we moved, so I have to start all over again. So that affected me psychologically in the way that I was thinking my mates are already in secondary school and I'm here starting all over again and all. But I really thank God because I started all over again, and so I was active. I was just purely on education. But my secondary school, I was a bit more lively because I've adapted to the environment in the so I'm a bit more lively, and I was so active that I engaged in different activities in school, from different representations of different program debates, cultural dance, and all the rest, and headed up to be the senior prefect of my set 2004. And so that was the beginning of my leadership trait. That was when I was the senior prefect in secondary school. That was SS3, and You have to be the leader of 1,000 of students from different backgrounds, different cultures, and all. And you have to coordinate them. You have to ensure that they go to assembly, their classes are neat, they call the teacher at the right time, their uniforms are neat. So a whole lot of responsibility to a small boy as at that time. So that was when my leadership traits started from. And then from there, so I took that into my higher institution. Uh, my school, there was no student union when I got there because of some issues. It was banned. But because of my involvement, I brought back student unionism to my school then. And then I engaged in different activities also in higher institution, from departmental vice president to the speaker of the Student Representative Council. Then I ended up to be the student union president of the school. And when I was doing my HND in School of Health Information Management, UCH Ibadan, I also ended up to be the speaker of Student Representative Council. And so I've been a kind of student leader throughout my stay in school. So that's it.
That's cool. But I think I think when the earlier you can expose people to leadership positions, and actually, even if it's in a school with 1,000 children or different things, I think it teaches you a lot. And I think I think, what's your opinion on if you can teach people leadership, or if they just have it, inside them?
Yeah, I think the first thing I really wanted to do, I didn't even know that I'm going to end up to be a business person. I remember when I was in higher institution, after I revived the student unionism in school, and I listened to different kind of students from different schools, their character, their attitude towards education, towards management. So I discovered that leadership is a problem. But I wasn't privileged to be guided by any person as at that time. But my natural being just informed me that leadership is a problem. So I decided to open an NGO. Then I was in school. That was my first engagement. So I started an NGO on leadership education, and because I discovered that most of my colleagues in school, they've already formed with their habits. So I decided to go to secondary school to go and teach them how to be a good leader when they ended up in university, so that they will be the rightful person to lead the students. And that was how I started my NGO then. And that was what led to the curriculum and develop, which is a leadership entrepreneur development studies that I said I used to train like 10,000 students. So that was how I started that. But as a leader, um, uh, sometimes from experience, from people you meet, and how you relate with people, it forms you more. You learn to understand what leadership is all about more, apart from the theoretical part, what you read in books and all. There are some things that we read in books, but when it comes to practical and based on the culture, Nigerian mentality and mindset, what we read in book and what we experience in the physical world are two
Mm-hmm.
different things. So I decided to use the practical way that they can understand to now teach them. So that's why the curriculum is a non-conventional curriculum. It's not a conventional curriculum. So what we are not taught in school is what are gathered together to form a curriculum that will teach the students, so that they can know more about what leadership is all about, what attitude is all about, what positive thinking is all about, what goal setting is all about, what integrity is all about, what trust is all about. So all these things are what I was able to combine together with my partner then, that would train students in school to form a good leader. And I believe that has really, really helped me to be who I am today. Because without that, I think that's the fundamental thing that led me to who I am and what I'm doing today.
Can I ask, how old were you when you started the NGO?
That should be I should be around 23, 24.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because that's super impressive in itself. I love anyone that almost has the drive and just the idea to create something to try and give back and help people. And I know from
Yeah.
obviously the business and the things that we've talked about in the past, that is really important to you. But there's a huge difference between someone who actually talks about it and someone that actually does it. And it's that kind of thing. You don't get that many people around the world that do. And it's always, I think that when you resonate, and you get to meet people from around the world. I had a call on Saturday with some guys in Egypt, which again, I don't think I've spoken to someone in Egypt before. And just for me, I love, broadening my horizons, because I think part of the challenge that we have in the world at the moment is that we don't have enough communication and exposure to people from all around the world to almost get to know different cultures. And I love, in the background, I can hear the street and the bustle and the noise in a good way, because it reminds me of when I used to live in Kingston in Jamaica, and it's just that life that you sometimes don't get in Newcastle in England, where I am at the moment. So what did you do next after the NGO?
After the NGO, because I was teaching entrepreneur development studies, and I needed to gather a kind of a physical, practical experience of what entrepreneurship is all about. Excuse me.
Okay.
And that was why I opted to seek for a job, and I got a job with a retail company in Abuja. So I left Ibadan, Abuja. That was 2013, and I joined the company as a sales rep. I was trying to experiment what I've put together in my curriculum to see if really I can practicalize it. And I put most of those things into work, and it affected the company positively. That the revenue of the company increased, and the customer base also increased. So because of that, I was promoted from sales rep straight to the general manager of the company to oversee the activities of the company in Nigeria. But 2017, the company decided to go back to Taiwan because it's one company. Decided to go back to Taiwan, and at that point, I sat down. I said, "Okay, I've gathered this experience, though it's not that much, but at least it's something I can start with." And I have been able to, understood what retail is all about. So why can't I just go into this business myself, rather than just waiting for one foreign company to come to Nigeria to do it? And so why can't I just be the one to do it, employ my people, create jobs, and be able to pass this knowledge into my staff, my customers, and the rest. And that's what led to me decide to establish my own company. And I was able to do that 2018, and officially launched the company. And here we are today.
But I love that. And it's almost, often, and I see this a lot of people send me private messages where they're in a job and they want to develop their own business and start their own thing. But there's a scary jump between, making that leap yourself. And often, if you lose your job, or if the company moves back to Taiwan, or the company closes, and, you're pushed into the opportunity, it seems like a lower risk. But I think there's people all around the world that will resonate with that desire to, do something and create something, but also have a vision and a passion behind it, that, you wanted to help the community and help create jobs all the way from the start. So I think that's very cool. And then likewise as well, it's the fact that, it's a Nigerian owned and ran company, not just a foreign company coming in to do the same thing. I think it's very important.
Steve, as for me, for people who are really working and really want to, leave the job to start their own, why most people, to me, find it difficult is because if the job they are doing is relevant to their passion, is relevant to their vision, it will be more easier for them to leave and start their own. Do you understand? Because the passion is there. Like I said, that okay, I've started something related to entrepreneur development studies, and I decided to practicalize it. I got a job, and I was practicing what I was teaching. So for me to start my own wasn't difficult for me, because I've been able to gather some kind of a little experience plus my passion. So it's just like I decided to convert my passion to my profession. So it's more easier for me to just drop, and not that I really dropped, because the company went back. So I was able to, even if the company did not, on a good day, I will still leave to go and start mine, because of the passion. So I think we need to be passionate about the job we do. Anywhere you work and it's not in line with your vision, check out, because it will really hold you down to take some necessary decision that will take your life to the next level. So that's just my view.
That's cool. I'd love to know, or I'd love you to tell other people, what's the dream for the business?
Well, yeah. The dream for the business is I want Miropass A-mart to be the mart of nation. So that's just the dream. The mart of nation, meaning that anywhere you get in the world, you must see the presence of Miropass A-mart. So I work towards that day and night. Without giving up. Yes, right now we just here in Nigeria and Togo, but like I said, the vision is to be the mart of nation. So online, offline, anywhere in the world, you will be see Miropass. So that's the vision.
But I love the ambition because it's the same for me. Is that when I launched the roadmap? Did it ever arrive? By the way, I can't judge on the Global Postal Service, but did your course pack ever arrive? Hopefully, it did. If not, I'll send you another
Yes,
one.
yes, 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 yes. I have it here.
No, that's cool. But what I was saying is that I love the ambition, and it's part of the reason why I think a lot of people, when they start a business, any business, they aim too small. So they aim for their local town, maybe slightly larger, and that's it. As right, what I love is the fact that you're aiming globally, as I am, and almost it's a different mindset to execute because you have to aim big and do things which have a much bigger, broad set, a target. Just because that's, if you aim small, you'll achieve small, if that makes sense. So I love how
Hmm.
ambitious you are.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, we just have to start small. We start small, but we aim big. So that's it.
No, that's cool. Would you like to tell people about Ojami?
Yeah. Um. That should be 2019. I was selected for Alibaba program in China, and I met different kind of entrepreneurs in Hangzhou in China, and we share different ideas as regards the problem facing retail industry in Africa. And I discovered that majority of the platform we have in Africa, they are just like a photocopy of either Amazon or AliExpress or any of these multi-billion naira platform. So it's not really designed tailored towards the way we shop in Africa. So but we adopted it, we accepted it because the Western world thing and all that. And that's why uh, it's not really working in Africa. Why? Because the infrastructures are not there to make the business work smoothly. So most of these platforms, they are multi-vendor platform, whereas a vendor can be in Lagos and the buyer is in Abuja because it's a multi-vendor. So by the time you place your order, you are buying from someone that is selling in Lagos and you live in Abuja. So to take the product from Lagos to Abuja will take 3 to 7 working days. Why? Because the roads are bad, flight is very expensive, so a whole lot of infrastructure are not in place to hasten the delivery. So that's why it is being programmed that it has to be 3 to 6 working days. Now, majority of shoppers don't really love to wait that long.
Mm-hmm.
So they rather go to a physical store where they can see, feel the product, touch the
Mm-hmm.
product, and pay and go. So that's why it's like online platform in Africa is still very, very new, very, very slow because of the lack of this infrastructure. So when I came back from China, I was thinking because Miropass Image is also a multi-vendor platform. So we also experience the same problem. So I was thinking, how do we deliver a product ASAP to our customer? Now we don't have the infrastructure, but what can we still do? And that is why the idea of Ojami popped in to aggregate stores closer to customer, then enable us to deliver to them within the maximum of 2 hours. So meaning that Ojami is an aggregate where we aggregate stores closer to your location. So if you're in Lagos and you want to shop in Ojami, you are sure that you are shopping
Mm-hmm.
within stores within your area, like 10 kilometer away from you or 20 kilometer away from you, where the buyer can easily come and deliver it to you within a short period of time. If you are within Ikeja, you are shopping within stores that are within Ikeja, so you can get it delivered to you very fast. So, and that was when the idea came up, and we started working on it. And after opening up to the public and people, they really, really fell in love with the product. Like, wow, if you can deliver anything I order on your platform within 2 hours, then I'm ready to go. Rather than waiting for 3 to 7 working days before I
Mm-hmm.
get the product, within 2 hours I can get it. Then why can't I opt for Ojami? So that's how we able to come up with Ojami. That's it.
but I think it's brilliant because it addresses fundamental problems which you can solve, but you have inherent knowledge of how to solve them. But likewise, because you understand how to run stores in the local environment and that kind of thing, you know, the reason, and it's one of my next questions, but when you asked me to get involved, I was instantly sold because I could see the benefit. Because one of the things, so even about a mile from where I'm stood now, Amazon are in the process of building another new factory, and there's another factory 10 miles away in Durham, and it's that model just doesn't work in different parts of the world. But then likewise, yes, we might start this in Togo and Nigeria, and it might expand to Ghana, but the whole world is there, and a lot of places have these same challenges. So almost the idea to just take that model, get some protection around it, and get the users, I think it's a brilliant business. I genuinely kind of do. At some point when we first met, you were looking to bring on a board to help you with that journey because, it has genuinely really good ambitions. Would you like to both shout out the people involved, but then also talk about why you wanted to do that?
Okay. Yeah. I'm an entrepreneur without very much experience when it comes to some areas of entrepreneurship, and I realized that for you to actually grow, need some experienced persons as your advisor in different areas of life. So I've been on LinkedIn for some time. So and I've followed a lot of persons, which I keep. That's why when you're talking about the other time that communication is the key, I try as much as possible to communicate with most of my contacts on LinkedIn. It can be maybe once in a month, or but make sure at least I do send a message just to keep in touch. So when it's time for me to get people who can serve as an adversary to uh, to the company to see how I can, because at the point to make some decisions as regards different aspects of the company and what do I need to focus on right now? Do I need to invest in this right now? Or do I need to hold back on this? So I needed people who have experience in that. So I started, reaching out to different persons on LinkedIn. That's why I reached out to you as well, and I was glad when you accepted. And from there, I moved to Mr. Wale Osbond, and he also accepted. He's in South Africa. I can easily get couples of advisory here in Nigeria. Just gather everybody together in Nigeria and move. But I was looking for a kind of different ideas from different areas. So I said, okay, South Africa is another powerful country in Africa. So technological wise, they are there. Infrastructure wise, they are there. Okay, can I get someone in South Africa so that whenever we are talking, the person will come in with the mindset of how it works, how it's run in South Africa. And that's why I reached out to Mr. Wale Osborne. And then I moved to Canada. Then I moved, that's when I reached out to Mr. Jamie Paju. Then to UK. Then I reached out to you. Then Nigeria, then I reached out to Mr. Shola Alesh. So I have a Nigeria, a Canadian, UK, and South Africa. So put them on board to ask, okay, how can I take this business to the next level? And since that time, I'm not regretting that because they've provided a whole lot of, personally, as a group. I remember when we do have a series of Zoom meetings it's not convenient, but they still make sure they are there to provide advice, links, and all them, which has taken the company from where I used to be to where I am right now. And at a point, there are a whole lot of issues around my activities and all that. The cloud was so thick and heavy for me. But because of the fact that yes, I have couples of these people, they're able to provide some things I'm scared about some decisions I'm scared to do. But they will tell you, go ahead and do it. That's the right thing to do. And it's been an awesome experience. So, and that has really helped me to prioritize my activities, to prioritize what to do. So right now, the focus is on retail. When you balance on retail, then you can move to the next thing. So rather than doing everything together, I remember when you were saying that, okay, focus more on the retail here in Nigeria. When you have your stand, when it comes to Ojami, you are fully ready to to do the needful. But for this retail that is present in Nigeria, make sure you balance it, and that's what I've been doing. I'm trying to take it, to the next level. Then Ojami will now follow. So
Yeah.
that's it.
But what I loved actually when we used to have the calls was that everyone had different experience. So, for instance, Mr. Jamie was very good at processes and different things. I'm, more from the sales, marketing, strategy, but how we tackle it. I remember we worked on a few kind of slide pitch decks. And again, with
Yes,
Mr.
yes,
Wally,
yes.
about his real world experience to do with, some of the systems that you had in place in dealing with stakeholders. And I rarely enjoyed the process because actually on the calls, you could recognize people's experience. And even though, I don't have much retail experience in Nigeria, it was great for me to learn from other people. And I think often when you have boards and, groups of people from different backgrounds together, it can bring a lot to a business to actually really help it grow and identify ways and just things to think about that you might not always, have at the back of your mind. So I really enjoyed the process, and also just the
Yeah, me too.
fundamental concept behind Ojami and what it is and how it works. I can really see taking off. So I'm really excited to kind of be involved, as it kind of grows over time.
Yes, right. Up to we are still working on the Ojami. Currently, right now, one of the partners is undergoing some training with uh, what's the name? Um, Oh, okay, I will remember. It's
Don't
currently
worry.
undergoing a kind of a training with them right now. So after the training, there are a lot of access to some resources that will come in so that Ojami can also move. Ojami is like is the Uber way of shopping in Nigeria. So and no, the sweet thing about Ojami is that when you make your order, you're seeing the rider picking your item on the store, and you can trace and track the rider until it gets to your house. So you know exactly where the rider is. So it's just like when you order for Uber, you know where your driver is. You know, do you understand? So you can easily see that, okay, my rider is picking up the item right now. My rider is at so place at this particular time, and also you can easily track it and know when you. And one another problem we have in Nigeria is our return policy. That once you get order online, to return is very difficult. Why? Because who's going to foot the
Hmm.
bill of returning it? So because of that, the policy is so crazy. So once you I have some experience with some person that you order on some platform, and it's not what you order that you got, but because you check the amount you will use to return it is
You're
high, they
stuck.
instead just abandon it. But on Ojami, it's a kind of an instant
Hmm.
return policy. Why? Because you are getting the item within 2 hours, and you are seeing the item. So if it's what you want, you see it, you accept. If it's what you don't want, instantly you give it back to the rider to return to the store. So we are able to solve that particular problem to so both return policy and delay in delivery. So what we are selling on our job is actually convenience and 2 hours delivery. So not really what to purchase on the platform, because whatever you are purchasing on the platform is an aggregate from different stores. But Ojami as a platform, we are just creating a kind of a convenience for people to shop and get it within 2 hours.
Hmm.
And also, you have the right to return whatever you want to return if you are not pleased with the product. So that's what Ojami we are. So because of uh, how we are doing it, so we are not really rushing it.
Hmm.
From Nigeria, we plan already. We are taking it to Togo and Ghana. There is already plan in line for those two countries. But we know that when we'll be launching it big time, we'll be on this platform again to talk about it.
No, definitely. And but it's those kind of things that what you've done is identify the problem with the current way things work and basically how they don't work. And actually that means that customers aren't buying online. But you also have seen the global trends. This is a thing, as in buying stuff online. So how can we solve that? So honestly, I think it's brilliant. I've noticed from your LinkedIn that you get invited to speak and be involved with a lot of tech conferences. I don't know if you're happy to give a few minutes to talk about the growth of tech in Africa, because I think especially for my UK audience, people are always focused on their own day-to-day kind of things. But actually, I know there's a huge growth in that area. And I just don't know if you wanted to talk about it and obviously the potential and opportunity that's coming out of places like Nigeria.
Okay. like I used to tell people that Africa is the next big thing. Yeah, irrespective of what is going on around Africa right now, well, Africa is the next big thing. The population is there, the numbers are there, so we have the numbers, and the needs are there. So, and the easiest way to to synchronize Africans together is the tech world. So that's why that industry is really really growing very fast. Like I have an experience today. I have a transaction with a friend in Ukraine, and I needed to connect with someone in Ghana and make some payments. So I was thinking, how do I make payment to this guy in Ghana? And I said, oh, why am I thinking? I just went straight to a particular hub, and I was able to do the transaction without even leaving my room. And so my friend in Ghana was saying, are you sure I'm going to receive this money? I said, are you not aware of this platform? He said, oh, really? And he also registered. And before you say, Jack, he has received the money. He was so excited. So that is what tech is doing in Africa. We are trying to synchronize everyone together and to solve the fundamental problem we are facing in Africa. Now, one of the problems we are facing in Africa is inter-border trading is very difficult. Like as close as Ghana is to Nigeria, there's some trading that can't occur because of some bureaucracy and some government policies and the rest. But thanks to the likes of Flutterhouse and the rest, they've been able to bridge that gap so that you can relate to, I can sell to anybody in Africa and I get my pay. Now I'm sending a device to Ghana and okay, how do I? I have a friend who has a tech company that can help you to lift everything to anywhere in Africa. So I was able to send that to the person. So Africa is the next big thing. The land is still fertile, very, very fresh. And that's why any innovation coming in, as long as you are able to identify the fundamental problem we are facing in Africa, not you trying to copy what is happening in UK and US and bring it over to Africa. Yes, you might be successful, but to be a bit stressful if compared to when you look into a problem in Africa, pick up the problem, solve that problem, and use a tech word, to provide a solution to people. So people can easily, right now, a whole lot of persons, okay, in my retail store, I partner with a company called Thank You Cash, where they reward customer for any shopping that is done. Now, for you to have a loyal customer in Africa, you need to give them something to make them loyal. Apart from the fact that yes, your items are cheap, there are a whole lot of places where items are cheap. Now, the normal open market items are always cheaper than any retail store. So anybody can go to any open market to purchase anything. But for you to have them and retain them, there must be something unique keeping them.
It's the added
And that's
value.
what, so that's what the Thank You Cash platform is doing. So when you shop, we reward you. So since I started using that platform, a whole lot of customers have been coming. Why? Because of that little reward. So what I'm saying is the mentality. You have to identify the mentality of Africa. Now, no matter even if it's one naira, they value that 1 naira. They can, because of 1 naira, trek down to your store to come and shop because they know the accumulation of that 1 naira in the next 1 month is 30 naira. And that 30 naira can buy them a chocolate. So that way you can relate with them. So when you look into, okay, there are a lot of infrastructure problems in Africa. So how do we leverage on this and provide solution without people really looking how to solve that? Yes, we are praying that government can solve most of those infrastructural problems anyway, but tech world is really leveraging, giving us a leverage to still make things happen without those infrastructures in place.
You're a very good businessman. You can tell by the way that you describe things and you identify. Often in business, the challenge is identifying the gaps. It's identifying the things that aren't there and the things that make people drive. And it's that added value and the reward back to people to choose you, hopefully over somewhere. Because if you only ever compete based on price, you will eventually lose because someone else will always do it cheaper. But actually in your execution and making people loved and valued and part of a team or a club, you can use that as price protection. But the other thing that I thought I would mention is that you mentioned about how, say, Europeans coming to Africa with their tech. What I can also see happening, because it's the same time where you are as where I am, is that when you get really good African entrepreneurs coming to Europe and coming to the UK with your tech products and saying, look, we've got this great idea, invest in it. I think there's a huge opportunity there, because I think in a lot of places, people run out of ideas. And I think the more people can connect, so just in Newcastle where I am, there are lots of big venture capital firms that want to invest in ideas. And some of the ideas that I see them invest in aren't very good. And I think part of that is because they're not seeing enough of different things from around the world to really get them excited. So I do think for good entrepreneurs, it doesn't matter where they are in the world, I think there's huge opportunity as connectivity and things get better to really kind of do very well. And that's why I was really interested to kind of get you on the podcast and just introduce people to you and stuff, which is very cool. Conscious of time, one of the things that I ask a lot of the guests is about the best advice that they've ever had. And I love this because it's a way to, gain experience from different people, but also a way to kind of give back and share knowledge. Would you be happy to share what you believe is the best piece of advice you've ever had?
Oh wow! I have um, different kind of advices from different persons, and they are all at
It
some
can be
point
more
they are
than one.
all
Don't worry. I won't judge you. It can be 5 if you want. It's fine.
okay. Okay, and at some point they are like saving grace for me.
Hmm.
Those advice. So uh, the very one I will remember is my mom, because she will only tell me, no matter what happened to you, never give up. So sometimes when I'm done, no matter how active you are as a business person or where you are, there'll be some time that you're just done. You feel like I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
So that's keep ringing in my head that never give up. So that keeps me going like, oh, never give up, never give up, never give up. And another advice I remember from Mr. Wally Osborne when he told me to start all over again. It's as simple as just a start all over again. Then when he said that, it you know I wasn't happy with it when he said that,
Hmm.
because I was like, what? Start all over again? Ha! After this and that? No, 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 no. But after a few days, I was just thinking about the whole meeting and all. Then I now discovered that I have no option than just to start all over again. And I did that, and that's why I'm here, because I started all over again. And the journey has been so smooth compared to when I started
Hmm.
initially. Why? Because now I'm starting all over again with more experience, with more connection, with more backups and all. So it's more easier for me. So it's just to start all over again. So that's the two one I really really remember. Never give up and start all over again. So no matter what you do in life, no matter the as long as you are still, as long as you are not 60s, you are not 70s. Even if you are 60s, 70s, you can still start all over again. It depends on what you're starting anyway. You can still start all over again, because as you're starting all over again, you are starting well loaded, well packaged, and well built when you're starting all over again. So there's no harm in starting all over again. And no matter what happened to me, I can never give up. Yes, I may be down, but I will never give up, because my mom said, never give up.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And I think that'll be my clip when when I repost this and just do a short summary. But it's great mentality, and I think almost at the start of the interview when you said about where your parents were when you were a child and they moved, I think it's that mentality that would have been a really tough decision, and they didn't give up as well. So that's very cool. If you were to give advice to your younger self, and it could be childhood or school or college or NGO or whichever, if you were to give advice to your younger self, what would it be?
Well, what I'm going to tell them, my younger self is, go for your passion. You know, education is good. I'm not disputing that. Education is very, very good. But education is just, to me, it's just like a pathway that can lead you to where you're going.
I
It's not
agree.
really the education that will take you to where you're going, just like the pathway. But you as a person, uh, you must know where you are going, so that the education cannot be your pathway. So education is not a thing, but education is what will take you to that thing. So follow your passion. You have to discover yourself as early as possible. That's just the big. You have to discover yourself as early as possible. You may not know the whole full of yourself, but at least know 3 to 5% of who you are. Then you can now build on that. So with that, you know where you are going. That will not help you not to give up. Then I also tell my people, I tell them that it's better you turn your passion to your profession. You will not be tired. You will not be tired of the job. You'll be happy with the job. Whether they pay you or not, you'll be happy. Why? Because it's your passion. It's what you have passion for. It's only when you are forced to do a job, when you don't have passion for, when they don't pay, you'll be angry. When things are not moving, you'll be angry. But if it is your passion, when things are down, you are still learning from the experience. When things are up, you are learning from the experience. So always turn your passion to your profession. Thank you.
I think you have a new career as a motivational speaker. But I love it. But it's almost where, out of interest, do you do much like video and things? Because I think you should. I think you're really good.
Say that again.
I'm saying, do you do much video and to talk? So Mr. Jamie does his motivational videos and he gets great traction. But I think you should
Yes,
as well,
yes.
because it's when you can talk from your heart and you give real experience. It's really good. So I'm going to clip these up and get millions of views.
Yeah, it's just that I'm a kind of a low profile person. Um, though I'm currently writing a book about the journey of my entire life entirely. So that's why I decided not to do anything public yet, or when the book is ready.
I'll get
Because
you back
it's
on.
a practical book. It's a practical book. There's nothing theoretical about the book. It's what I this interview I'm having today in the book as well, because it's just like when you get the book, you have the life history of Shola, of how it started and how where it is and all that. And yes, I do attend and I do accept some interviews and some events and all, but not always. I just want to be low for now. Why? Because it's a building process for me, like a whole lot of building. Just when you are there and you are like, okay, you want to start all over again because of some experiences and all that you've gotten. So you need to take your time to build yourself, so that when the result will be out, people can say, yeah, really, 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 you're a man of experience. So that's what I'm doing right now. So that's why most time I don't post too much. I just I just focus more on the business right now.
No, it's cool. It's cool. But I like that because you also get a lot of people that talk a lot, but they don't deliver. And that's the worst.
Exactly. No,
So
no, no,
I'm
no,
with you.
no, no.
Before we finish, is there anything you would like to talk about or plug before we go?
Yeah, well, like all I would say is Africa is the next big thing. So for any venture capitalist, from any investor, for any business person, it's just like get the right kind of person, get the right platform, get the right place to invest in, then you will not regret your investment. So I think uh, people should look into Africa when it comes to investment, and you look into Nigeria. Look into not just what is trending, because that's what is really, really affecting some investors right now. They're actually looking for what is trending. And sometimes what is trending is not the real thing.
Yeah.
There is this thing social media is doing right now that they can trend a whole lot of things, but when you jump into such thing, you discover that it's not the real thing. Most things are really, really working and fetching money. They are not really trending. Why? Because people in that sector, they don't actually shout,
Hmm.
because they are just solving problems. They are just happy they are solving problems and they are cashing out as a result of solving that problem. So don't look for what is trending, but look for the what really matters. So then connect with the right set of persons. And I think another thing is I'm an advocate for SDG. So I advocate, I'm an ambassador of SDG. I run an NGO that focuses more on sustainable development goals in Africa. I think I have a member in about 15 African countries, and I have a member in about 8 states in Nigeria. So anywhere I go, I always talk about SDG, that we all need to make this world a better place. Um, development goals, sustainable development goals, is not just for, it's not the responsibility of the government. is all our collective responsibility. So when you do your part, I do my part, government do their part, then it will be a better place. So don't let us just wait till when government solve a particular problem. I don't know how it works in UK. Maybe you guys wait for government to solve things, but in Africa, people wait for government to just solve problems. But I think that is where we are getting it wrong. No matter how little we can do, let's do it. Then collectively, then we can see a better result. Thank you.
Cool. But no, I genuinely appreciate your time. I've wanted to get you on this for a while. It's been great to kind of share your story and listen to you. I think it's clear that the way you talk about different things and almost identifying people's problems and how things don't work and how you look to solve it, it shows and it proves that you are a genuine business person, a genuine entrepreneur that understands how to do business in a way that most people don't. And you have really good fundamentals of business practice and leadership and entrepreneurship, and over your career you've proven how you can deliver stuff and help people's lives, and it's all about giving back to the community, and helping Nigeria develop. And I thought it was just a really interesting thing to talk about. I look forward to getting you back on in 3 or 5 years when Ojami, you're the next Jeff Bezos, and you're worth $2 trillion and different things. But even if it doesn't happen, because you're looking to develop and do business in the right way with solid fundamentals and get advice and learn, and it's a really inspirational journey to kind of go on. And then even if it's not thing, it might be the next thing. And I think, as taking your mother's advice just to never give up and keep going, I think is a brilliant kind of sentiment to end on. So thank you for your time. What are we on? 4:52. I genuinely appreciate your time. Thank you to anyone that tuned in. If you've got any questions, please connect with both of us on LinkedIn. And yeah, hopefully we'll catch up soon.
Thank you so much for having me, Steve.
No, it's been a genuine pleasure, and I'm sure we'll catch up soon.
Yeah.
All right, no worries. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.